Mr. Speaker, I would like to offer a quote. And the quote is as follows. It is bold men and women yearning for freedom and opportunity who leave their homelands and come to a new country to start their lives over. They believe in the American dream, and over they make it come true for themselves, for their children, and for others. They give more than they receive. They labor and succeed. And often they are entrepreneurs, but their greatest contribution is more than economic, because they understand in a special way how glorious it is to be an American. That quote, that's not my words. Those are the words of President Ronald Reagan. They were delivered by President Ronald Reagan in 1980, the same year my parents came to the United States. Let's pass the H.R. 6 today, and let's treat every person in our country who has struggled and is just as American as you and I are. Let's treat them with the respect that they deserve.
Joining us now is freshman Congressman Joe Neguse from Colorado. He is a member of the House Judiciary Committee. And Congressman, I want to talk to you about this great example that you've delivered this week, that the Judiciary Committee can legislate and investigate at the same time. Judiciary Committee passing that Dreamers bill out of committee, then passing it on the House floor. Let me begin, though, with the breaking news from Politico tonight indicating certainly a strong difference of opinion between Speaker Pelosi and your chairman of the Judiciary Committee, Jerry Nadler, on impeachment. Politico is reporting Nadler pressed Pelosi to allow his committee to launch an impeachment inquiry against Trump, the second such request he's made in recent weeks, only to be rebuffed by the California Democrat and other senior leaders. Is that your understanding of Chairman Nadler's position?
Well, it's good to be with you, Lawrence, and thanks for having me on the program. I would say, with respect to your first point, I think you're exactly right, and that is to say that, we've been saying for quite some time that we could, walk and chew gum at the same time, and that legislating and engaging in oversight was not mutually exclusive. And I think we've proven that time and time again, and certainly that was the case yesterday when we passed the Dream and Promise Act. With respect to your question regarding that report, I have not seen that report, so I don't know that I'm in a position to comment on it. Look, you've reported this, as have many others. There's obviously some differences of opinion within the Democratic caucus. As one would expect, we are a diverse party, a big tent caucus. We represent different areas of the country, geographically diverse and ideologically diverse as well. And so there are going to be differences of opinion both on policy and on oversight. And obviously, as you know, there are some who believe that proceeding under a normal sort of oversight process is the most prudent step. There are others, and that includes me, who believe that opening an inquiry, an impeachment inquiry, is the most prudent step. And as you know, and you've interviewed several of my colleagues previously, those of us who serve on the Judiciary Committee, a number of us fall into that latter camp, in part because we have witnessed, the wholesale obstruction of Congress in a very visceral way. I mean, the subpoenas that are being ignored by this administration time and time again are subpoenas issued by our committee. So we, of course, are going to have a more, as I said, perhaps visceral understanding of kind of that obstruction happening up close. But look, I think our chairman is doing a terrific job, and he has scheduled a set of hearings that I believe you've already mentioned in your program starting next week that will really focus on the substance of the special counsel's report, and I think, again, try to educate the American public about the findings in the report, which in many ways have been kind of obfuscated by the administration's obstruction of our ability to engage in basic oversight.